Okay, so as we start to visualize what the data in our app looks like, it's helpful to look at like a spreadsheet and figure out if we were to use this spreadsheet and this were the data that we're bringing in, what would it look like for all these commands that we're using? So this is actually the spreadsheet, other than these little thingies that I drew here on the side. This is the actual spreadsheet we use to create the CSV file for the 50 states quiz and the quiz app. And basically I took this thing and I said, download this data as a comma separated values file. And this CSV file was what got uploaded into the app to begin with. So this is the actual data that you're looking at in the app. The first column is filled up with state names. The second column is filled up with the capitals for those corresponding states. And the third column is set up with the mottos. So you see here, New York is capital of Albany, and its motto is Excelsior, ever higher. So we now want to be able to pull the data out of this list. And we have read in the file from the CSV file, and we've placed it in a list that we have called 50 states list of lists. And it's coming in looking like this. But we need to be able to pull out any individual thing that we need. Well, first of all, the user has to push a button and tell us which test they want to take. Do they want to take the state names test? Do they want to take the capital names test? Or do they want to take the really hard state mottos test? And they're going to tell us how many questions they want to have asked as part of this test. The minimum number is 5, so I've set this test bank to a size of 5 in the beginning. And they have pushed the button for button number 2, which is that they're going to take the state capital test. So we're going to fill up this test bank with only names of the capitals of these states. And right now we pick a random number of the state, and we got random number 36. And what is that? Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, and labor conquers all things is what we will find in row number 36. So we're going to use this helper variable. And this helper variable is called one state list. And we're going to copy off everything we see at row number 36, and we're going to paste it here in the list called this helper list called one state list. And then we're going to read this helper list at position at index number 2, which is the number of the state of the test we said we were going to take. We're going to copy that off, and we're going to put that into the test bank. And then when we do this, we're going to get another random number, and this time the random number was state of Ohio, and the state of Ohio is at index number 35. We're going to take everything we find in the 50 states list of lists at index number 35, and we're going to copy it. And even though it's currently filled up with Oklahoma, we don't care. We're still going to paste over the top of it. We're still going to paste all the stuff from Ohio. We're still looking at test number 2, so we're going to take what's in position number 2, which is the capital, and we're going to put that over here in the test bank. We're going to add it to the test bank. Next random number we get up is random number 32, and that happens to be the state of New York, so we're going to copy off everything from the state of New York. Once again, we're going to put it into the one state list, and we're going to paste this in here. And then we're going to look at what is in position 2, and we're going to say position number 2 is the capital is Albany, and we're going to append that to the end of the test bank list. And as you can see, we're going to keep going until we get to 5 of these, which is the number of questions we have in our test, and then we're going to start the test. And then we're going to pick a random number from the test bank and say, tell us the state whose capital's name is Columbus. And then the user is going to have to click on the picture, the polygon that is set up on the map for Ohio. If they click Ohio, it's going to read this backwards. It's going to say, okay, go to Ohio and go find out what is in position number 2. And if that position number 2 is equal to what's in this list at position number 2, then they got the answer right. Okay, so now we're going to look at the code itself and what it looks like to do what we just did in a spreadsheet. So I've taken a little snippet here of the spreadsheet, the 50 states list of lists, and I've just shown you the 4 records between 29 and 32. And this code here says go out to the 50 states list and look at position number 29 and copy it out to the helper list, one state list. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at row number 29, and we're going to pull out this item right here that is row number 29, and we're going to put it in the one state list. Now we have one state list that has 3 items in it: New Hampshire, Concord, and Live Free or Die. We're going to look at that one state list at position number 3, and we're going to put that thing, we're going to add that thing into the list called the Global Test Bank. So when we do that, what is the answer we get? Well, the answer is Live Free or Die, because in this one row, this one state list, we would have looked at position number 3, we would get Live Free or Die. Now we're going to look at a way to do this in a single step without the helper function. So the helper function is helpful to keep in mind as you're trying to build these complex code structures. So let's look at this helper function. What if we got rid of it? If we got rid of this one state list, we just pulled this out, is there something that's equal to this? Well, the thing that is exactly equal to this is what we put in it. So we could take this select list item thing and just throw it right in here into which list we're selecting. And in fact, that is what I have listed on the next page. So on the next page, you can see that we have this thing that says add an item to the list. And we naturally, because we are English readers, we want to start on the left-hand side. But a good coder, when you have these long strings of code, will start at the other side and start reading this way and go that way. So this basically says start at the 50 states list. Look at item number 29. Start at the 50 states list. That's this thing. Look at item number 29. That is this thing right here. That is a list in and of itself. Once you look at that list, look at position number 3, which is this position over here. Once you have position number 3, then put it into the global test bank, and then you will have the test bank that you're hoping for, which is the set of whatever is in this column over here. Now, this is a different code structure. This one is more efficient because we didn't have to use a helper function to get here. We didn't have to do an interim write in order to get here. So it's more efficient, but either way, the result is exactly the same. Either way, the answer is live free or die, one way or the other.